Like I tell you, sometimes you'll see me in the flesh, and sometimes you'll see me in the darkness. This is another one of those darkness videos because I'm about to get ready to go somewhere, so I ain't got time to be goofing around with showing you my image. I mean, when you got time, it's showing your fans your image. When you don't have time, it'd be considered goofing around. So I'm not making fun of y'all or myself. I'm just saying I'm about to go. But I decided to take a little time to tell y'all. Okay, number one, guys, I'm in a situation now where, okay, I'm going to come clean. I'm going to come out the closet. There are multiple closets. I'm not coming out to say I'm gay. There's multiple closets, okay? Meaning that there's a lot of things that you don't tell people that you're coming out and telling them about, okay? My financial situation in my own business, I'm not telling you that unless you ask me personally. But I do live in an apartment by myself. Almost all YouTubers do, so why should I be ashamed of it? That's number one. Number two, this is the Isaac David Brigmond Show with your host, Isaac David Brigmond. Number three, I was single. I have a special friend that we are trying to see where this goes. If it becomes boyfriend and girlfriend, good. If it don't, we're still friends. But I'm starting to see it leaning towards boyfriend and girlfriend. She's only 27. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to compromise things and get people mad at me. I do like her a lot. I do want that to lean heavily as days go by as boyfriend and girlfriend. She's just got through having to put out of her mind an ex-boyfriend that basically was her ex for a long time now. She thought that because of the way he was acting that they'd get back together and that they would. But he lives in another state, another county, and all this. So it was kind of hard for her to deal with him. Plus the fact that I'm about the only guy she dealt with that really was real close to God because I love God. I love Jesus. And I'm a good influence on her. Last time there was church going on, we went together and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy her company. I never get bored around her, and I can't stop thinking about her all the time. I mean, it's like I want what we got to be getting. I guess it like say put a bunch of bricks on it and make it lean towards boyfriend and girlfriend. But right now it's like this friend that's about to tip over into the boyfriend and girlfriend realm, and I want it that way. I mean, because she's a good person. She does some things that may not be suitable, but it's not something I couldn't work with when I'm trying to help her and myself. I said in myself with God. But, just pray for me because I'm trying to be nice to her, and she's doing hard. She's doing all she can to straighten her life up because she's got a lot of issues, just like I do. We all got issues. We're not all perfect. I mean, we all struggle every day to do what we can to get God in our lives. And I've seen things that, more people I hang out with that I already knew, like younger people and older people that I get along with. The more of them she gets to know, the better she is with her life because all of them are Christian folks anyway. I've never tried to have trashy friends. Always try to have good friends. And she's got her rough edges, but we can smooth them out. And same with me. I've said and done things I shouldn't have done. If I told you everything I'd done in my past, you probably would have left me alone and wouldn't have been my fans or my friends. But do understand I'm doing the best I can right now. And I'm going to do what I can to help you out. Because the way I help y'all out is what I say on the internet. I try to make sure that those things are only the things that we use to help each other out with. Like if I say, okay, I'm going to buy you a cake. I'm not saying I'm going to buy the whole world a cake or everybody a cake. I'm saying some of you may get one cake for one person and then sometime later another person may. I'm not going to say buy thousands and millions of cakes for the whole entire world. One cake, one person. Right now. Later on, maybe when I get more money, another cake for another person. I'm not saying I'm going to give you a cake. That's not what I'm just saying don't expect me to just give you everything in the world. If you said $1, sure. Well, I mean, I've seen people tell me run my butt to another part of the United States that was so many miles away from here and hand them $6 just for food and cigarettes. A couple I knew of one was not too long turned 20, was 19 and pregnant, and the other one was her husband who was in his 20s. Those two were friends of mine, even though I'm 34. They wanted me to run. See, they went to a different hospital than the local hospital to have a C-section. She was 20 not too many days ago, but she was 19 when she had the baby. So she just turned 20 not too long ago. And he is already in his 20s. They're a couple. They're married to each other. They wanted me to run all the way to that other town and county in this state and hand them $6 for cigarettes and food. I just got back from going somewhere. If I'd have went down there at that point, it'd have been the next day before I got back. And plus, I'd have probably been about out of gas, and my financial stability is what it is. So I have to do what I can for me. And I had to explain that. They talking about, never mind. And this was on Facebook Messenger now. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm not trying to be mean to nobody, but I'm laying it down. I'll help where I can. If I can't, I can't. I'm not going to sit there and tell people I'm going to help you 24/7 with everything in the world. I just don't want people to look me dead in the eyeballs and say, you didn't help me. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I didn't because I couldn't. If I could, I would. And I told you that, folks. That means if you say buy you cigarettes, that depends on where I am to you and how close I am to you. If I'm not that close, I'll be like, no. Besides, why does the whole world need to smoke? They need to quit smoking. I've told people. Getting on my nerves. People can't stop smoking. They got to cram them cigarettes in their mouth. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Did I tell you to smoke? Nope. Did I want you to smoke? Nope. So stop it. I love you, folks. I love you. I love you. I love you. But you got to stop the drugs. You got to stop the alcohol. You got to stop the cigarettes. Now you say, oh, I don't do drugs. Then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you that do drugs. I'm talking to you that do cigarettes. I'm talking to you that do booze. Lay off the booze. Lay off the cigarettes. I mean, don't do stuff that will disappoint God. God's already seeing you hanging around some good people and some bad people. He says, cut the ties with the bad folks and try to keep those close ties with the ones that are good to you. If you're somebody that's got Christian friends, keep them close to you. If you got somebody that's got devilish friends, cut the ties with them. Let them go. Me, for instance, if I'm your friend, God says more people like me, keep them close. More people like Saddam Hussein or Bin Laden or whatever, keep them way away from you. Get my point. So I'm just saying, folks, we need to be nicer to each other, and we need to stop trying to fuss and fight over something that don't make no sense. And if you people are serious on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that about who's mean and who ain't mean, then that mean person, if they really are as bad as you say they are, wow. If they're not and you're making a joke, why? I've seen it happen. Oh, so-and-so's rude to women. He's rude to the man. He's rude to... And before it's over, when you find out later, oh, it's all a joke. You're like, well, why'd you joke? Yes. Through some influences, this female that I'm speaking of, who's the friend, and we're tipping over to the boyfriend-girlfriend zone on that scale, she, through some influences, got talked into making me believe that she had got killed. Well, now she regrets doing that because she sees what kind of guy I am and how I'm trying to help her with God and Jesus. And it's like, this guy's a good guy. Why should I be doing this stuff to him? And it makes me feel ashamed of myself for what I done to him. She'll get it straight with you, God, if she just continues with her ways of life. I mean, I'll have to make sure that she knows from the beginning to the end about you, because I know you and she knows you, but I think she's knowing you with the devil tugging a little. And the devil needs to quit tugging on her pants legs, because she needs to know that God's got her. If she gets her life the way she wants it to be, that's not what you want. You want what God wants. So you don't get the perfect situation, as in what human beings call perfect. But you get it perfect on the sense of this guy over here said that he got something for you, and you find out that that guy is sent by God to give you that gift. Take it. If God's sending, he could be your Gabriel, your angel, your archangel. He could be the Gabriel in your life. And he could be the Moses, the Noah, the Adam, the Eve. And he might be there telling you that God sent him to you to do something to you. What's that? To show you a better way of life. Not the better way of life you want, the better way of life you need. So let God talk to you and tell you. You look at me and say, yeah, can't talk straight. Can't talk straight. You see, I know y'all probably thinking every time I run my mouth on YouTube, it sounds like I'm preaching. I can't help it. Ever since I got to a certain mode in life, all I do is try to talk good works from God. I love God. I love Jesus. I wouldn't hurt God and Jesus for nothing in the world, or try to. And God smiles at me when I try to help myself and others out. Don't help others out. Help yourself and others. Do not do for others without doing for yourself. And don't do things for others that will cause you to cry because you're broke, you're poor, and you ain't got no way to live, and then you can't do no more for them because you're broke and poor. Do for others where God says. If God didn't say, don't do it. That's what I'm saying. So if y'all get mad at me for not doing something for you, it's because God didn't want me to do it. If God wanted me to, he let me. So there you go with that. So I just see, better influences when, in some people's lives when they turn towards God and Jesus and be with the friends that he said to be with. Well, I better let you go. If there's something I missed in this video that I started to say and didn't finish, let me know about it and I'll let you know. But I just wanted you to know the updates on me, because a lot of this stuff is updates on me. A lot of this stuff is, advice. Guys, if you got this friend who said she wanted to see where it goes with you and her, she meant that she wants to be your friend that will turn into a boyfriend and girlfriend thing. It'll happen if y'all were getting real close. But to her, she's got to say it a certain way to convince herself something. But if she was to see reality, she'd say, this is my friend who, I want him to be my boyfriend because he is a great guy. And I'm not perfect, but if she considers me great, then why not at some point just open up your eyes, open up the door, come out of your closet and say, all right, he started out as my friend, but after a whole bunch of days that done gone by, I'm starting to see a boyfriend. Well, that's good. But if I'm that guy for her, I'm gonna tell you, if I get into a deep conversation with you folks about this subject, I'll cry for joy, because I know that God's wanting me to help her and myself out where he said to, and I will. So if you don't believe there's a God, then if you don't believe there's a God, then why do I see all the miracles I've seen with me and her? All the things happen in her life positive lately since she's been trying her hardest to be with God. I didn't say she's, fully with God, because she knows God, and some of her influences steer her to a devilish way of life, and I don't know, but if she can lay off certain devices, and I'm not talking about devices as in like machinery devices, I'm talking about devices, whatever you can call them, things you do you shouldn't do, that God doesn't give up on you, because he knows once you could just learn the magic trick through God and miracles to get off these problems, you'd be better off. Those devices. When you get off those devices and say, I'm going to stop whatever bad habits I'm doing, and I'm going to start some good ones in the name of the Lord, thank you. That's why he feels like she's okay for me, because he knows that she ain't all bad. She just got something in her mind that she's got to get out. And it's the devil. He's a little thing in her mind, but he's trying to grow like a tumor in her brain and her soul and make her do all types of evil. And he's getting upset at me for trying to help her and me out. Because by helping her out, I've actually helped myself out, because I've seen things nowadays better than I've seen before. I mean, think about it. I've seen myself say this is a job that me and God's got to do to help her out and to help me out. to help two people out, me and her, but me and God's got to do it because there isn't anybody else going to sit there and try hard to put the God in them. But I'll talk to y'all later. But like I said, comment on here. Tell me what you think about what I said. Subscribe and like and share. YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Also, if I've said something and didn't finish the story, like I said, tell me about it and I'll help you finish it. Because I know I've been known to do it. All right.